The man of the hour is on our hotline.
Man of the hour, man of the day, man of the week.
Man of the week.
This guy's getting some heat.
Alex Jones.
Alex.
Hey, guys.
How you doing, man?
You're a regular.
All right, it's good to be here on your transmission. I know it's pretty prestigious, actually, to be on the phone with Norton, who
That's true.
changes Ozzy Osbourne's diapers and eats the shit out of them.
Yes. Oh, wow. I do, and I will gladly continue to do so.
Alex, we're all very glad that you're alive after your experience in New York.
Yeah, we saw the video afterwards, and you were genuinely fearful of your life in New York City?
Sure. I mean, let's be clear. I've been to Bilderberg many times. We've had the guys in black sedans following us. We've had, the Marines pointing guns at us. I've been to a lot of places, but it was like something out of a movie where, cops would step out of alleyways. I'd be like, let's go down this street. And there'd be another plainclothes cop all around CNN up to like 7-8 blocks away.
Jeez.
And they'd go, hey, big fan. And grab my hand and just look at me like I want to kill you.
What do you think their end game was? Like, what were they trying to do?
To scare you?
Why would they let you know they were there, though?
They were trying to scare us. And so my bottom line was, quite frankly, after the interview, I said, let's get our stuff. We're flying out of Newark. Let's go stay at a hotel by the airport. And I actually got out of there.
Oh, really?
Wow, you couldn't take it anymore.
Yeah. Holy
Well,
jeez.
look, I'm not a wimp, but at the same time, if I can get myself out of a position where it's a corrupt city with a corrupt mayor in control, I'm going to get out of.
Yeah. We're not accusing you of anything, sir.
No.
You live in a much scarier world than certainly we do.
No. I wasn't talking about you guys, and I was joking about the Aussie thing.
Oh no, Jimmy took that as a massive compliment.
Yeah, I certainly did.
Exactly, and it's totally the truth. I got to tell you something. I loved what you did on Piers Morgan's show, because that guy has the same line over and over again about his view on gun control, which is gun confiscation. And you went in there, and I loved the fact that you wouldn't let him do that same friggin' line over and over again and hit him with facts.
And you came across very rational.
I liked it.
Very rational, I
Well,
thought.
look, I'll be honest with you. I also had a chest cold. I still have it when I was in New York. Had one hell of a headache. And, they'd had the cops messing
They
with
probably hit you with ricin on the way through TSA.
No, I think I was probably hit with something else before I even got on the plane.
Oh.
All the pollen in the air. But seriously, guys, have you seen the new stuff? The video is up at Infowars.com.
Yes.
It's only about a 30-second clip. Last night, they had the Daily Beast columnist on there saying that I need to be killed with a rifle and that Piers Morgan needs to shoot me, and Piers Morgan agreed. I'm not kidding. It's at Infowars.com.
Holy shit.
What is going on, Alex? What is going on with guns in this country, with our right being taken away?
Well, I tried to give Piers from FBI.gov the last 15 years of statistics, over 20% drop in the last 15 years, about 12% of that in the last 5 alone since 2007, and he just didn't want to respond. Overall violent crime with guns is down massively, and the FBI has a map. It's state by state. It's concealed carry. It's higher gun ownership. Criminals now will knock your window out when you're not there and take the purse out of your car or your wallet or your PlayStation if you leave it in there, whatever. But they don't do the home invasions all over the country because they know most houses have got people with guns who know how to use them. Plus, with all these first-shooter video games, which the Pentagon originally developed, most people, now that have guns, even if they don't shoot a lot, know damn well how to use them.
I love Call of Duty, by the way. I play it all the time. I don't like the idea that video games are perpetuating this mass murder thing. I think it's more bullshit, just like the assault weapons
Alex doesn't agree with you.
that aren't used.
Alex doesn't agree with you.
Statistically are not used.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I don't say censor them, and I agree with you partially. What I'm saying is I was raising the video games saying that they were originally developed, that first-person shooter, this is on record, by the Pentagon to get people really good at shooting. It's like a flight simulator. So my point is, we've got 150 million Americans, and especially the 30, 40 young adults that are all video game players who are, they've got studies showing the shooting is getting better and better and better and better. And it's because people are on shooting simulators. Now, 1 out of a billion, or 1 out of 50 million, whatever the real numbers are, but very rarely you're going to get somebody who's already mentally ill and who's on a bunch of different hardcore antipsychotic drugs,
Right.
who then sits there and plays one of these shoot 'em up simulators. It's like a flight simulator, and they're going to then go off the deep end. But you can't blame the video.
Of
games
course
anymore
not.
than you can blame the gun.
Exactly, but that's
Hold
what
on.
they're doing.
You got to blame the murder-suicide pills. We just did a whole segment on our show about pills and
Side effects.
and side effects, everything that could happen to you for just taking care of your arthritis.
Yep.
Well, it says on the major serotonin reuptake inhibitor inserts, mania, insanity, rages, suicide, murder, and then we're going to put listen, I said this months ago. It's now officially come out, Denver Post. The Batman crazy Holmes guy, a whole bunch of prescription psychotropics. Listen, they're psychotropics.
Yep.
They're in the hallucinogen class. And if you're a normal person who doesn't have something psychotic lurking, for a lot of people, those pills aren't even bad for them. But you give them to the wrong person, and then the media hypes up all day. Hey, don't go, just commit suicide, or don't go commit suicide by cop. The way to do it, an option, A, B, or C, is go to a school and shoot a bunch of little kids.
And you made a great point on CNN where the media certainly helps this, by glorifying the shooter.
Why is that never looked at, Alex? A lot of times the press will use video games, guns, everything, even they'll delve into the psychological and medication thing, but they never talk about how their reporting itself might be influential to these people that go out and shoot up.
They want to completely ignore
places.
that because that's bad for business, right, Alex Jones?
No, I mean, that's it. And they're not talking about the real issues that actually affect everybody. And this is what affects you guys and affects your listeners. Dianne Feinstein's introduced a bill along with 11 others, and she's led over the committee. Senator Feinstein's bill says that they make you take all your guns you already legally bought, went through the FBI NICS, which is a registration, folks, of the basic type, long gun, shotgun, or handgun, but they know what you bought. They know it's at the store. It's
absolutely
computerized. Now, get this. Her bill says that at the ATF's discretion, when you have to bring your guns into them, and let me tell you, one time they sent me a letter saying a gun you bought here, the serial number has an issue, bring it to our offices. So I went over to the Austin office, and let me tell you something, it was not fun, okay? This was like visiting with the good fellows. The point is, we're all going to have to bring our legal guns into them, and then we're registered and fingerprinted with the ATF, but it gets worse. There's a provision in there where it says that they may make us turn them in, and she wants $2 billion a year to pay us on the barrelhead, no judge, no jury. The ATF is now God, just like a no-fly list. You haven't done anything wrong, you're just put on it. Suddenly, they make you turn your gun in, and then I'm sitting there with Piers Morgan going, I just want to confiscate your firearms. I just want some reasonable
It was a great English accent. Terrific. I love it.
Alex, I agree with you 100% on that. They have this buyback. They want to have a buyback program where not only you can't be grandfathered in anymore with your guns. If you own a gun, even with the assault weapons ban that went in place during Clinton, if you had the gun, you could keep the gun. But now they're talking about confiscating the guns that would be on this ban list.
Well, that would keep a lot of people safer.
No, it wouldn't. These alleged assault weapons aren't used in the majority of crimes.
Less guns, less gun violence.
But he didn't want to hear it.
Less guns, less gun violence.
They're only using about 4% of murders, and most of those are people, in gang-related stuff. And then CNN last night said, Alex,
Gangnam Style,
because he said it's gang-related. Well, my point is, it's not little kids, it's gangsters killing each other like Al Capone and Bugsy Siegel. But you're absolutely right about this. So-called assault rifles and semi-autos of the type they're talking about banning are in less than 4%. And I kept trying to raise that for him. And then they say, we want to be like Chicago, where they've taken all the guns and are the murder capital.
Yeah, the highest murder rate in the country. And meanwhile, assault weapons, people don't understand. They're not, you don't walk into a store and buy a full automatic machine gun, but the news would like you to believe that. They are the same guns that are used in hunting. Their semi-automatic long rifle. It has nothing, it's just that they look like a military weapon. And that's what scares people.
Well, exactly. Look, Feinstein and Pelosi and all, and they know. Feinstein's on record. You can pull this up, that she has bodyguards. She has a concealed carry.
Yep.
There's clips of Clinton There's clips of Obama. There's clips of Biden all saying, I'm never going to come after your guns. And there's clips of Obama 4 years ago saying, not your rifle, not your shotgun, not your handgun. I pledge I will never come after those. And so you go tell everybody that people saying that are liars. When he was state senator, he answered newspaper questionnaires, where they asked senators what they think in the state. He said, I believe in the total abolition of civilian ownership of firearms. And guess who else agrees? In March, the UN treaty is set to be ratified by the Senate. And the UN treaty is open to their interpretation. But in the original UNIDIR plans, they explain it. July 7th, 2001, they said the civilian ownership of firearms threatens the legitimate power monopoly of the state, and we want worldwide civilian total disarmament.
Disarmament, absolutely.
Nice.
On a global scale, and how does that help us? And these people that are willing to just throw their rights away without even any information or knowledge about what they're giving up astounds me. I'm sick of the musket argument. I'm sick of the militia argument. These are twisting the words of the Constitution. They couldn't have been simpler when they wrote the Second Amendment, and they're twisting this around to make it where they're trying to say that we never had the right to bear arms, when in truth, that's exactly what we have the right to do. That shall not be infringed.
So the solution is that we should all go out and buy a gun.
I would love that.
Yes. They had Professor Lott that Morgan wouldn't let talk when he was on a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
And see, that's why I blew up at him.
I loved it.
Well, I mean, here's some of the backside story, because this is really important if you guys have a little bit of time to tell this. I knew they were lying the whole time. They go, we want to be real friendly, and I said, let me guess, you're going to have victims' families on before me.
Oh, boy.
And they go, oh, no. And then, of course, they did. And I said, okay. I said, fine, I'll come. And then they said, oh, no, we're going to give you 3 segments. We're going to let you debate Alan Dershowitz, who says that the government should be able to arrest whoever they want and torture people. And then when I get there, they're basically, change the plans, this, and that's going to happen. And then after all this happened, if anybody wonders who really did win that debate, the main producer was crying when it was over, screaming, get out, get out. And other people were hyperventilating. And Piers Morgan, as God is my witness, was shaking, because everyone walks into those big studios and just grovels like they've come in the presence of God.
Yes.
Just because a Brit, has like a snot-nosed nose. And I said this on my own radio show yesterday. I said, we need to build a giant new Washington monument after Piers Morgan's nose, and then we can all, as a sacrament, suck the snot out of it.
Yeah, I need to know, at any time, did you feel like Piers was going to punch you?
Oh, well,
did you see it? Hold on.
Because
Because when you're in those situations, did you see it in his eyes that he would have loved to take a shot at you?
At the end of the interview, I said, I knew you'd freak out and wouldn't go to the third segment. You chickened out like I predicted. And his face, like in a movie, around the eye and the cheek, did that twitch jiggle. And it wasn't a fake one. I mean, it was like a real twitch, like a Bond bad guy. And he said, you're done. And I said, you're not going to defeat us. And he literally laughed like Emperor Palpatine.
Yeah.
He goes, that's what you think? And then I told him, I said, listen, you are nothing but a gangster, and you're not going to disarm us. I know this is about enslavement. And they were just screaming with security, get out, get out. And then they had some Kennedys there who were like cowering in the hallway by the green room. And Dershowitz walked by me, and I said, you're a disgrace for promoting torture at the end of the Bill of Rights.
Oh, yeah, Dershowitz. Yeah, exactly. I'm kind of glad you didn't debate him. He'd really twist shit around.
Why, man? That would have been fun.
Like that.
That would have been a good time.
Hey, he said the Second Amendment means I don't get to have guns.
Exactly.
And he said I'm dangerous and shouldn't own guns.
Yes.
And then they freaked out when they said that I have 50 guns. Well, yeah. I mean, I've got like 5 or 6 from my grandpa, 5 or 6 my dad bought me. Over the years, I collect them. And, most of them have doubled or tripled in value.
Yeah.
I mean, I got a 50 cal I bought 10 years ago that's like tripled in value. I just bought another Barrett.
I have the Barrett 50 also. I have a Desert Eagle 50.
Awesome.
And it's fantastic. By the way, I didn't even bring this up. Gawker last night published my name on their site because I am a concealed license holder in New York City.
So they're trying to terrorize you. They're trying to persecute us.
Yeah. Yes.
They had the guy last night on there that wrote Friday Night Lights. I forget his name. He said, let's kill Alex Jones. And Piers Morgan's like, yes. I mean, they're insane.
And you're the one that shouldn't have guns. They're actually saying that you should be killed and they're afraid of you and your guns.
With a gun.
And
With
the,
a gun.
the
Right.
FBI statistics are very accurate as far as the murder rate and things like that.
I just don't even know what to say anymore about these people. I mean, I'm sitting there. Let me tell you this story. I'm sitting there, and I live out on the edge of the country, so my satellite was out because of a thunderstorm. Gotta love that. So we're watching CNN online in the bedroom. The kids are all sitting there, and we're sitting there eating dinner, and I've got a 4-year-old, I've got a 8-year-old, and a 10-year-old, and they're on the show, and they go, I just hope Alex Jones's kids don't get shot. And it was clearly a threat, and I'm like, holy mackerel.
Man.
And then, and my wife's like, come on, that's not a veiled threat. And I go, these people are creepy. I go, you watch. And then as sure as the sun came up this morning, they cut to the next guy, and he's the Daily Beast sports editor, and he literally says, you need to shoot Alex or pop him with an AR-15 semi-auto. And then the daughter of Huntsman, the little model, she goes, ooh, yeah, I want you to wear a uniform. And when you do it, that's a great idea. And Piers goes, I'll wear my brother's uniform when I do it.
Oh, wow.
What the fuck?
I mean, it is the sickest crap.
I got to see
They're a
this
bunch
clip.
of chicken-neck thug cowards who want my gun so they can come shove a gun down my throat where I'm defenseless like in Nazi Germany. And I want to tell that little whore daughter of Huntsman, that little tyrant who wants me dead and who thinks all this is funny. And I want to tell that punk sports writer, I want to tell Piers Morgan, I don't need a gun to defend myself. You ever lay a hand on me, I'm going to punch you with an uppercut so hard it's going to rip your nose off your face.
Wow. You heard it here first, folks.
Alex,
remember, the media is going to take that out of context, guys. You
of
gotta
course.
defend me. They're saying kill me. I'm saying I'll defend myself, and that's going to be wrong.
No, that'll be you being aggressive, and you shouldn't have your guns. Alex, what's the recourse for gun owners and people that want to retain their rights in this country against these people that are obviously using the media? The media itself is in on it. What's our recourse?
Our recourse is to get really aggressive with these people. They want us to be calm. They want us to listen to the simpering NPR voice about everything's okay, everything's happy. It's the same way you go pick up an old horse when you're taking it to the glue factory. Talk to it real soft, real sweet. It's the same way somebody picks up a little kid. They want to go torture and kill. They're like, come here, I got the candy. Let's be friendly. Oh, no, nothing's threatening. That's their attitude. They want to keep the debate down at that level while they sit there and imply that all gun owners collectively share a responsibility in the death of these children.
Right.
And so it's absolutely outrageous. How dare you? In fact, I meant to get to that point, but I never got to it. How dare you try to collectively, Piers Morgan, Mr. Snotnose, put all of the tragedies in this world on somebody like me who has no criminal record.
None,
and
right?
Quite frankly, I like guns, but I've kind of moved on from them. They're mainly just sitting there in huge gun safes. You know, they're acting like I'm sitting there oiling my guns at 4 a.m., you know, like there's some kind of idol or something. No, it's simply the mark of a free man who's ready to defend his family. So it's time for us to let them know, listen, stop playing this game where you go, it's just reasonable. We don't want your guns. You got bills introduced that are the leading bills to physically take my guns for no reason. Okay,
right.
That is a declaration of war against us, and that's all I've told him is I put him on notice. I said, listen, you redcoat usurper, if you love guns being taken so much, go back to England where they have 3 times the violent crime rate. And he goes,
right.
England has no gun murders. And I said, I know. They beat your brains out with a club or stab you with a knife. It's much more dangerous. Most of your country burned last year. And he goes, no, it didn't. You're a lie. He said the London riots didn't happen. That's how dumb he thinks his audience is.
Well, then he kept just checking you with, how many gun deaths? How many gun deaths? It's like, no, well, they took away the guns. It's a much smaller country. It's easier to confiscate the people's guns. And they're a bunch of pussies over there who just gave up their fucking guns anyway. We're not going to do that here.
Sir, let's be honest. I mean, England was the most violent, out-of-control place for about 1,000 years since the Romans pulled out. And then they came in with social conditioning to make it trendy to be passive because that was how they finally, using style, subdued the barbarous Celts and the Gaelic, folks that lived in that area. So that's imperial brainwashing conditioning. But yes, when everybody had guns in England 20, 30 years ago, and they phased them out over that period, they had the lowest crime rate, not just in their area in the UK, but in Europe. Now they have the highest crime rate. Anybody can just type in England has highest crime rate. So they were a very nonviolent, passive, gentlemanly group. And now that they've taken the guns, their crime rate has exploded. Let's be honest about Americans. Whiskey and guns and freebooting and kicking butt,
right,
absolutely being wild is what built this country, and it's why we've been so badass. And we need to rediscover that and get rid of the nanny state and re-energize and become Americans again. Black, white, old, young, doesn't matter. It's time for us.
Well,
and they're scared of the gun culture because it's the heart of the only thing
Just
left
fucked
that's
up the
truly
love fest between you
Americana.
two.
They're trying to get rid of men. They're trying to get rid of fast cars.
Yes.
They're trying to get rid of everything decent. And the gun is literally a beachhead for us to rediscover our independence and to be empowered. And the nanny state tyrants hate it.
Exactly.
Alex, what about the mental health checks and stuff for guns?
It's absolutely ridiculous.
I agree.
If a psychiatrist, listen, they always act like none of this is there. If a psychiatrist, if a psychologist, and I think this is too easy, simply files a report when you go in to see them with the mental health institutes under the CDC, you can never buy a gun again, and they're probably going to come to your house and confiscate all your guns. Adam Lanza, the reported shooter at Sandy Hook, didn't try to buy guns that month before once, not twice, not 3 times, not 4 times. 5 times he tried to buy those guns and then finally stole them from mommy. I mean, if I had a son bouncing off the walls on a bunch of different drugs, I sure as hell wouldn't have the AR-15s out laying around.
Absolutely.
Yeah, mommy was kind of worthless.
Yes. In denial, that dummy.
But we can't count on mommy and daddy to do the proper thing.
Should. More so than me being responsible, like and every NRA member and every gun owner being responsible. She's a lot more responsible, as are other parents that are in denial.
In a perfect world, she shouldn't have had her guns obviously laying around like that.
Exactly.
But you're going to have that.
Exactly. Listen, they have the 4th most restrictive gun laws in the country in the great state of Connecticut. And he got the guns illegally.
Right.
Now, how did Holmes get the guns? He had a close to $30,000 federal government grant in neuroscience. And so Obama said, hey, if you got a small business, you didn't build that. Well, I guess in a way it's true. Obama really did build this guy and allow him to attack, and his psychiatrist had a folder and even knew he was reportedly planning all this, but magically nothing was done to stop it. So I just want to tell you guys right now, you have not done your radio show the last decades or whatever. You're not doing the show right now. The government, the state did it.
Right.
So I just think we should all recognize the fact that, I mean, when I get on the toilet today to drop a deuce, I didn't do that.
No, that's not you. That's not you. The government does that. I'm really tired of them butting in all of our rights, trying to take our rights away. Under this Obama administration, it looks like it's not happening to people that don't want to see it. But we're getting so many of our rights taken away, and the people are blind to it. Blind.
Well, no, that's it. It's like, well, the NDAA will actually be used on Tea Partiers, conservatives, libertarians. Homeland Security? It's not set up for Al-Qaeda anymore. It's for you. And you know what? Yeah, the NSA is listened to without warrants. And you know what? In 15 states, they've got federally funded checkpoints, gang checkpoints on highways. Well, we're going to search your car without a warrant.
Yeah.
Shut the highway down. And by the way, we're going to pass Obama said, I'm not going to raise the taxes above $250,000 a year. And then 77% of Americans got a massive pay.
Everyone looked at their check and freaked out. They're like, wait a minute. Because again, the people that are uninformed and ignorant of what's going on are the first ones to start arguing with you about a subject they know nothing about. If they would have looked into it, they'd have seen that everybody's taxes were going up.
Exactly, and I'm not saying Mitt Romney was good either. He's bought and paid for interest, and it's so frustrating when I'm telling one of these so-called liberals. Thomas Jefferson was a liberal. He said, let people do what they want in their own personal lives. Let people keep their money. Let people own guns. Let's empower the general population. That's a liberal. These modern people saying, turn my guns in, that the French model of 80+% taxes is the way to go, where they put a 75% tax on everything above what you make at an 80% tax rate. I mean, so 90-something% has to go to these people. These are leech authoritarians who literally now have the nerve to tell us we didn't build our businesses, we didn't paint an oil painting, we didn't write a book, we didn't make a comedy record, a comedy CD, we didn't do jack squat. No, a bunch of pin-headed bureaucrats are now so arrogant, they're telling us that they run our lives. These people are the authoritarians, and I am sick and tired of them, and now they want our guns because they're going to collapse our society if they have their way. If we stand our ground, they will back off. But under Agenda 21, you can read their own documents, under this globalist plan, they want to implode the economy to make us poor and make us dependent on them. That's why food stamps in 4 years have gone from 25 million to 49 million, almost doubling, and they're set to double again in the next 4 years. America, with 100 million people on electronic soup lines.
Exactly, and people don't see that as a bad thing. They see that as, well, liberals anyway, see that as something good. We're helping people. We're helping everyone. What we're doing is destroying the ambition and everything that made this country great over the years is being undermined and taken away.
They put us down in a pit, and they're saying, rub the lotion on your skin. Yeah. We're like, no, let us out here. And they're like, no, we care about your skin. Rub the lotion on your skin.
So should we start the revolution now or wait a couple more years?
Listen, I don't want a physical
And who's going to fire the first shot?
Right.
Sure, when I say if they try to come for the gun, 1776 will commence, that is a fact, because if you got 150, 160 million gun owners, let's say 1% refuse to turn their guns in, that's 1.5 million people. They want to have the revolution. I don't want to have the revolution physically. I want to have it in the information war, because we're actually starting to win that with the general public. All the statistics show that people are getting more and more liberty-minded, even if people are having to live off government assistance. The new studies are showing they don't like it, and they know they've been made dependent with our jobs being shipped overseas, with $21 billion being spent to ship General Motors to China.
It's ridiculous. And the mainstream media are the ones that are really pushing in the other direction. I think the underground internet, of course, InfoWars, those type of sites are where you're getting that information out that is being countered by the mainstream media. It's quite a battle, though.
But look, you guys know the parable of the emperor's new clothes, where really he's been conned by con artists. He's butt naked, marching in front of everybody at the parade. And then a 3-year-old steps forward and says, look, the emperor's naked, laughing at him.
In trouble.
I've been to that CNN Centers. I'm sure you guys have been there many times. I'm just guessing.
Yeah, well, I'm a Fox guy.
They have 2 big buildings there in New York.
I'm on Red Eye tonight, by the way. Thank you.
And when I'm over there,
I
mean, I was over there 10 years ago. I was over there 5 years ago. I was over there 3 years ago. It looked nice. There was literally filth all over the bathrooms, filth on the carpet, and I thought, did they put me in this thing on purpose? So I walked through the dressing rooms into the other green rooms where the Kennedys were at and turned in there, and it was just as dirty. And then I was watching Wolf Blitzer last night on Situation Room, and there was filth and dirt and black spots all over the big white floor with the stars on it. That place is absolutely rotting. Listen, Piers Morgan is their top show and has 556,000 viewers last year on his top show. Guys, you have millions. I mean, I don't know your exact numbers, but how many millions of listeners do you have?
I think about 10.
Quite a few.
Okay. Now, you're there. You're not arrogant. You're not wearing big suits.
At least
you're not in the studio, but you're not sitting there like you're royalty, okay?
No.
Maybe 5.
Nope.
But listen, these guys, this guy has a
Hopefully 2
million viewers on a good day, and we go to them like they're Moses on the mountain.
Right.
It's total fraud. CNN had like 10 million viewers back in the mid-1990s.
Well, that's because they push agendas like these stupid mental health checks for gun owners and gun buyers and all these other things that nobody wants to hear, so people tune them out.
You know what I think? I think the alternative real media, even though we're all diverse and have different ideas and don't agree on everything, I think we ought to have a week coming up in like a couple of months where all the real media, where we wear royal crowns and gold outfits and sit on thrones and then have people dress up like Piers Morgan and others that come in and, fan us and things.
I look good on a throne.
I like it.
While we show statistics on the screen of how we've got much bigger audiences than them. Because if you do that, you want to destroy them, you point out that they are paper tigers and frauds. That's the last domino to fall. I'm telling you, that CNN Center.
Alex,
it's terrible.
Hold on, Alex. What's a paper tiger? I've always wanted to know that.
Well, a real Bengal tiger, weighing thousands of pounds, will literally rip your head off in seconds, as you know. A paper tiger weighs about a pound, and it's painted paper mache, And it looks scary if you're 100 yards from it,
Sure.
if it was sitting in the jungle, but it actually can't do anything.
But it's
a
nothing.
fraud, a facade, all talk.
Exactly.
Like a rotten barn full of termites that when a big wind comes by is going to blow over.
With an English accent.
I have an
That's why our turkey bit didn't work, by the way. We used paper turkeys.
I have an
Linger
unrelated
longer.
question.
Yes.
You might know the answer to this. Whatever happened to Jesse's lawsuit with the Navy SEAL who said that he knocked him out? Is that
Right.
still pending, or has that
Right.
been settled, or do you know?
Well, I just want to be clear. I don't want to get too much into it because remember I told you guys he was going to sue him. I didn't
Yes.
make that up.
Yeah.
I mean, I know Jesse. I've been around him with military and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, he would have had to been an evil clone to do that. That's why I knew. And when I told him, he's like, Alex, don't call me in Mexico with this. And I'm like, he's like, Alex, come on. This is a really nasty joke. What are you and I'm like, no, listen. And he goes, well, you never BS me before. And I said, man, I'm not kidding. He says it. He's like, what? And I mean, why would he go speak at a commencement and then run around? Look, Jesse's had people claim that he dances around on tables drunk. The guy hasn't had alcohol in like 15, 16 years. Right. The point is that it's not true. And I believe Jesse.
But is there a lawsuit? That's all. We've heard both sides of the story over and over again. I'm just wondering if it's still a case.
Yeah, I know I'm long-winded. I apologize.
It's okay. No.
Let me just say what's happened with the lawsuit. Just Google Jesse Ventura.
Sure.
Link News.
Okay.
It's gone to court. The judges refused to throw it out.
Okay.
Like Kyle's wanted. They're now going for the extreme damages because Kyle has no witnesses. He has people he told about it later, and Jesse has just all the witnesses, the owner of the place, everybody that was there. But Kyle knows that he's just got to push this all the way. I mean, you can go read their filing. It's pretty amazing. Now his lawyer's implying, well, maybe it was somebody who looked like Jesse, and he was wrong. The problem is Jesse was there, and the fight didn't happen, and it would have been all over the news. And Kyle in his own book repeatedly talks about how he's lied to people.
Right.
Okay, so and the judge saw that, and I'm just telling you right now, Jesse is going ahead with the lawsuit, and he may leave the United States forever, basically.
Okay.
So hold on. He doesn't win because he says this country cannot be trusted. And you can say what you want about Jesse Ventura. The point is that he's been wronged in this area.
All right.
Yeah, that's what. So basically, they tried. Chris Kyle went for probably a motion to dismiss, and the judge said, "No, there is some evidence to proceed here with what Jesse is saying." Okay. I honestly just didn't.
We're
know
running out of time with
Real
Alex Jones on Twitter. I got the clip from InfoWars, Piers Morgan from last night. Because you referenced it a couple times.
Let me hear this.
It's a quick clip.
Let me hear this clip.
The most horrifying aspect is what happens after these outrages is that the NRA and the others get on television, spread all the fear, Wayne LaPierre and Alex Jones and others, and then the Americans rush out and buy ever more of these weapons and ever more of this ammunition. And so it goes on. And the only solution is apparently to arm everybody else.
I mean, I agree with you. I mean, I think the purchase of guns went up after Sandy Hook. Look, it is pathetic. It is ridiculous that you are allowed. I don't care what the justification is, that you are allowed in this country to own a semi-automatic weapon, much less a handgun. But what do you need a semi-automatic weapon for? The only reason I think you need it is, Pierce, challenge Alex Jones to a boxing match, show up with a semi-automatic that you got legally, and pop him.
I'd love to see that. In uniform.
Wow. They're just laughing along about shooting you.
And then Piers said, well, I would use my brother's uniform, I think. That wasn't part of the clip there.
Yeah,
Wow.
Yeah, I would be, are you a little nervous there, Alex?
Well, it's clear that when they're earlier in the show going, oh, gee, I hope nothing happens to his kids. I hope they don't get shot. And this is like in a Goodfellas movie or something where they're like, you better turn over the restaurant. Hope nothing happens to your kids. And so they're like, hope nothing happens to the kids.
You know what's interesting? I wonder if CNN will apologize for those comments. ESPN apologized for Brent Musburger praising an attractive woman. I wonder if CNN will apologize for the hosts allowing joking about shooting a former
guest. I
guest.
didn't think that guy saying she was attractive was anything wrong.
No, of course not. There wasn't. That's what I'm saying.
It was just a guy appreciating an attractive girl, but apparently that's not allowed in this country.
And that's the world she lives in.
And by the
she
way,
makes her living off being attractive. She makes money off that.
If you were a liberal and that was on Fox and they were joking about shooting you, that would be fucking news everywhere. Right. People would be talking about the host being fired. but because you take a pro-gun stance and Piers takes the company line, it's perfectly acceptable for them to joke. And the woman, who's usually the one who goes, whoa, goes, yeah, that I'd like to see.
Yeah.
This is like, I'll wear my brother's uniform, and it's obviously a little moment between them.
Well, they enjoyed it.
His brother's the Gimp from Pulp Fiction, by the way.
They enjoyed it. Alex, we've run out of time. We got
Alex, thanks so much, man.
Thanks for the call.
We got a very important guest standing by.
Keep the fight going, Alex. Stay safe, my brother.
All the statistics are up at Infowars.com. Take care, gentlemen.
All right,
Take it easy, man.
Alex Jones.
I enjoyed Alex
Jones
very much
I
today.
can't wait till we hate him again.
I enjoyed him.
After that love fest.
But I did enjoy people
Love
twittering
fest
me. You were against those yesterday.
Yeah, I know.
Well, that's a
Jimmy's
bit.
saying shit that
That's
he
a
was
bit.
preaching about yesterday.
I think you and Alex should get a room next time he's in New York.
Well, Love Fest, right?
Love Fest.
Me and him. I pictured me and him just naked, oiling our guns.
No,
and by
you're-
that I mean our penises.
You're so right. No, you're so right.
You're right.
Oh.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Oh, you.